definitely.
We got to draw a crowd. Got a good crowd on hand here tonight. So come on down to pizza time. We're here till 8 o'clock. Then we'll join the Royals game as soon as we're done. And take part in the pizza specials, all kinds of specials. So come down and join us. And joining me right now is head coach for Ottawa University, Kent Kessinger. Coach, I'm so happy to see you.
Thanks, Bob. It's good to see you as well.
I mean, it's been what, a month and a half?
Yeah, but from the podcast, the pre-recorded and then put up onto the interweb podcast. Well, this is live. There's no coming back from this one. No editing.
No, not at all on this one. I would like to say thank you to the people who listen to us. We actually had over 100 listens to.
It was pretty good. Some nice comments. I think a lot of it came with the artistic designs that you would put up for each podcast.
Yes, I thought I'd do something different, and I
it was
really
good.
Strove to.
The Star Spangled Banner one was my favorite one, I think.
Well, when I think of America, I think of you.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Bob.
So
America.
If you haven't had a chance to listen to those podcasts, they are out there. You know what? Actually, you can go to Coach K's Twitter feed, and he'll have the links to all the different ones. And what is your Twitter feed? Let's
it's at Coach Kessinger. That's it.
That's it.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah. So you can catch up with him and see what's going on, and he has all the links there too. I also have links, but nobody wants to follow me on Twitter because, well, it's me.
You have an interesting Twitter handle, I will say that.
Yeah. Well, it was between that and hardwood rich mahogany.
Yeah. Which would have been good too.
Yeah. So, but we'll go with the at Francis Butternuts on Twitter. So, just coming up with quirky names.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. You got to have an interesting Twitter handle
for a not so interesting Twitter account.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll make that. We're going to change that this year. That's the whole point. Well, let's get started here. You saw some live action over the weekend. You went out to Missouri Valley, saw some live bullets for the first time. And what were some of the positives you took away from that scrimmage?
Well, number one, it was really good to be able to go up against somebody other than yourself, and in a situation that you knew that was going to be really controlled. And it was nice having officials out there. Coach Troth and Missouri Valley guys, they did a great job. It seemed to go a little bit long after a while because it was getting a little warm on that turf, but it was really well run. We had a good opportunity to do some different parts of the field. We'd start on long 70-yard drives, and we had short drives from the 40. We'd put the ball at the 8 and work some series of goal line. We had a chance to work quite a few of our special teams. It was some of the most interesting things was just being able to get used to some of the new rulings that they have, particularly after you score a touchdown. Instead of waiting till the ball gets set and then starting a 25-second clock, it's like a normal play. As soon as the play is over, you cross the goal line, the official raises a hand, 40-second clock goes, and it really limits you what you can do. Your team needs to be prepared. So long runs or something like that, score if your defense is over talking and you guys got defensive guys on your extra point field goal team, you got to be ready to go. So it was very interesting.
Is that rule change maybe also a way to cut down on celebrations or taunting or things?
I don't know.
That?
It could be that because you don't have time to do that. That's for sure. But I think part of it is they wanted to speed up the game at the Division I level, and you know how everything's a trickle down effect anyway. So whatever rules they decide at NCAA Division I is what everybody else plays with. So that's I think that was their main idea. What I see, and I actually asked our head of officials today, what I see is teams, instead of rushing it, I told our guys, just take a delay a game. What's the difference of kicking an extra point in the 3-yard line or the 8-yard line? I mean, if you're going to struggle from the 3, you're going to struggle from the 8. But if you're going to, if you got a pretty decent kicker, it's not any different. It's not like they're moving it back like the NFL to the 15 and whatnot. So yeah, it's going to be quite a bit of strategy going into the extra points now.
That is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be very interesting.
What about some negatives out of that, out of what you saw, things you need to work on coming into week one?
Well, from the standpoint that we started off really well, had our first guys in. We pulled them out after a little bit, but after a couple series. But the first series offensively, we took it down, 9-play touchdown drive. The way that we worked the scrimmage, each offense was going to be guaranteed 8 plays within a grouping. So if you went 3 and out, then you would come back on play 4, 5, and 6, and then once you got to 8, and if you got a first down, you could keep on going. So you could extend drives and stuff. But what was really encouraging defensively is we forced 3 3-and-outs to start off with. So we score offensively, forced 3 3-and-outs. Then the next grouping, that was really good. I think that obviously consistency and there's some young guys that still have a lot of things to learn. They learned about the speed of the game. I think that's obviously what we're taking into this week to be able to improve upon.
Were there any surprises coming out of that scrimmage?
I thought that our quarterbacks really managed the game in the situations well. I mean, because we didn't practice anything against what we were going to see against Missouri Valley. I mean, we just went over there and played. Just showed up, and they were running their stuff. We ran our stuff, and there was no strategy. There was no film watching. I thought that our quarterbacks were really good in being able to see things. I thought our defense did a really good job being able to react to some different movements and formations. We gave up a couple big plays that I think that we got a little miscommunication on, so that was something that we are going to continue to improve on, particularly this week. You got to be very disciplined against Bethel team. But, I think that I was pleased with just the way that our kids handled themselves. I think that they met a challenge in a very strong Missouri Valley team, very strong Heart of America football team.
And, of course, now we get to the real deal game coming up on Saturday, and we're going to talk a little bit about that here in just a few minutes. Why don't we go ahead and get our first break out of the way. When we come back, we're going to get ourselves acquainted with this year's Ottawa University Braves football team as some familiar faces, but also some new pieces to talk about. So we'll take our first break of the evening, and when we come back, we'll take a look at this year's Brave squad. You're listening to the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Show, live from Coach's Corner here in Pizza Time on 1220 and 103.7 FM, KOFO.
Physical is still possible at Ottawa Care Clinic. Now open 7 days a week inside Cosentino's Prize Chopper, 120 East 19th. No appointment is necessary, and a staff of experienced and caring registered nurse practitioners is waiting to help you. Remember, bring your physical form, proof of insurance, or $50. Most insurances are accepted. Ottawa Care Clinic open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 11 till 7, Saturdays 9 till 4, Sundays 9 till 3.
Hey, Ryan, where do you want to go to eat?
Pizza Time.
Pizza Time? Where's that?
At 208 South Main in historic downtown Ottawa. Or we could call 242-TIME and have it delivered.
242-TIME?
Yep, call my BFF Duke and his friends at Pizza Time.
What are you going to order?
I don't know. It's all so good. Pizza, sandwiches, appetizers, and dessert.
Now you've got me hungry. I wonder what time it is.
Pizza Time!
I came here to run cross country, and it ended up being way different than I thought it was going to be. It's unlike anything I've ever been a part of to be on the team. Everyone is so completely different. There are people you never thought you'd be friends with, nothing like your outside friends, but somehow you all click to be the same and have the same interests, but yet completely different. Everyone's always there for you. It's not just about running. Friendships and families, like they're your siblings when you're away from home. That's what it means to be a part of the Braves cross country and track team, to be a family.
Be a Brave. Visit ottawa.edu. When working at a growing business, you wear many hats. The new business hat, the buying toner for the copy machine hat, the sifting through tons of resumes hat. You can throw away that last hat thanks to Indeed.com. When posting your job, Indeed lets you add screener questions that give you a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates. So go ahead, dust off that extra long lunch hat. Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
My heart heart skipping the beat. You're not close enough, so that space between you and me, let's lose it. The way you're dancing, swaying to the music, girl, that body and how you move it. Every time you cross my mind, girl, I lose it.
Alexa, play the Country Heat playlist.
Okay.
I don't think you know what you're doing to me. You got
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
We're back here at Courser's Corner. It's the one in front of the big plate glass window, right across the street from the Plaza Theater at Pizza Time. So you can come and see us. We'll wave at you. We're friendly like that. Want to thank you to the help here at Pizza Time. Is doing a good job of taking care of us and everybody who is here. Good crowd on hand here tonight, and we'll be here every Tuesday night through the football season talking about Auto University Braves football, because that's what we like to do, and that's why Coach is here.
That is why I'm here.
Yeah.
To talk about Auto University football.
So that's important, and let's talk about the team this year. There's a lot of returners, but there are some new pieces. There's also some pieces that didn't get to play last year, whether because of injury or that. But first, let's talk about the quarterbacks. We'll have a starting quarterback this year.
Yeah, we have Connor Kagi, who is transfer from Arizona Western College, who came in here starting in the fall. He actually came in July, moved out here in July so he could start working out with the guys. And then we have Spencer Lewis, who was here in the spring for us. Those are the two top guys that are vying for quarterbacking time right now, with Connor Kagi being the guy that's going to get the nod here for Saturday.
Was there anything with Connor that was, I don't want to say better, or something that he did better over Spencer that got him the starting nod?
Well, I took a look at, basically all our practices. I gave our guys the first two as in, all right, we won't count those until we get a little dust knocked off, and then graded those two. And between the two of them, they were 330 gradable plays for, I think, Spencer, and 328 gradable plays for Connor. And Connor graded out just slightly higher than Spencer. I think that they both were very similar in their completion percentage. We were right about 57 to 60% completion percentage in all the things that we did and practices. I think Connor threw a few more touchdowns, but that doesn't really, that's not here or there in practice. But had a few. They were fairly similar on the number of turnovers that they had. There was very few, which was really good. And I think that just a slight edge that went to him, and we had an opportunity to watch him in competitive drills, and I think what put Connor over the edge initially here now is how he fared in those competitive drills, 2-minute drills, how they both looked on the scrimmage on Saturday. When we were really doing live things where everything we had was on the line, there was just a slight nudge to Connor. But we're gonna see Spencer out there in the game. Matter of fact, I'm planning on having them both get in here on Saturday, in the first half, and be able to get them both some repetitions, live repetitions, when everything counts, because they're pretty much 1A and 1B right now for me.
And you bring that up, you got Connor 6'7".
Yeah, he's a tall drink of water.
That is that's pretty nice size to have back there at quarterback. He's going to be able to see a lot.
Yeah, he is. We're not the tallest offensive line in the world, but we're not the shortest either. So, yeah, he actually had a really nice pass against Missouri Valley where, he doesn't make it if he's just hovering around 6 foot. The 6'7" allowed him to throw over the top of a charging defensive lineman. So it was nice. He runs the ball really well. I would say Spencer probably has a stronger arm Matter of fact, throws the ball extremely hard, and I think that they counter each other well, but they both have some similarities that are very, very strong within our offense.
At running back, James Reeder returns. He was averaging over 100 yards a game last year as a freshman. So the question is going to be, obviously, a sophomore slump. Have you seen anything from him that shows that could be happening, or is he still just like he was last year?
Well, so far he has been. I mean, I see him understanding what we're doing a lot more. And normally what comes into a sophomore slump is that you think you know more than you do. And I think that he's a lot more comfortable, but he's also still very open to all the coaching that he's been getting. And the key is to make sure that we can keep him healthy. Although I think we have another 2 young freshmen that are really, really strong as we wait for Xavier Nero to get healthy, who had a really good spring for us. So when he gets healthy, I think we'll have at least 4 to 5 really key guys that we can put in that backfield.
And then, of course, the offensive line. That's one of the most important parts of this team. You have 3 returning starters from the 2 deep in the final game of the season last year. Mitch Walters is also listed on this year.
Yeah, he's not. He's graduated.
He's graduated.
Yeah,
okay, so I'm glad that we got that situated.
Yeah, he's actually graduated, and he's doing a graduate assistantship at my master's alma mater, Minnesota State Mankato. So we sent him to the frozen tundra.
Wow.
And I think he's working with hockey.
Oh.
Yeah, so there you go, Bob.
Hey.
But we have Blake Hammond and Blaine Saxon played a considerable amount for us last year. Started pretty near every game. Kyle Klingensmith played quite a bit for us, in a on again, off again, starting and backup role. Those guys bring the most experience back for us. We have Grayson Workfields, who was unable to participate last year because of some transfer issues, and he looks really good. And he could be probably one of our most talented offensive linemen that we have. Can play either tackle or guard, and very versatile and very athletic. So,
do you see the offensive line further along at this point than where you were 1 year ago?
It's kind of difficult to say. Just having the one spring, not spring game, but scrimmage that we had this last weekend. It's hard to say. I think they're solid. Arnold Mendoza has been playing quite a bit. You throw in a couple freshmen. We have 3 really solid freshmen. I think that are going to be able to play a lot for us either this year or down the road. Ryan Severenson from Florida, Brendan Grove from Hutch, and Eddie Taylor from Northern California, high school in Northern California. And so, we feel really good about those guys in their roles, but we'd like to bring them along a little bit. But I think that depth-wise, from potential, it seems a lot better than it was in the past. We were pretty thin after the first go last year. So the key is, as always, getting those guys to work together, getting them to, like I've often said, play like a nickel. 5 pennies play like a nickel, and then keep them healthy.
Now we look at the wide receiver core. One of the things about this offense last year was between the 20s, you could move the ball, but once you got inside the 20, just not able to put it inside the end zone. Do you feel like, not just with the running game, but also with your wide receivers, that you've got some kids that are going to be able to make some plays in the end zone?
Well, I think, part of our thing was that we just, if you're only taking 5 to 6 yards at a time, and you're not taking it in any big clumps, and you're not going to score as many touchdowns. I mean, it's going to take you more time to get to the end zone, and granted, there's some times where that's good, but if I look back to if we use the pinnacle of our offense success in 2009 is all the big plays that we were able to create, on offense particularly. And I think that we have some big play guys. I'm excited to see Darian out there. He's been chomping at the bit for a year now. I'm excited to see how Dylan Foose has improved. We have a couple young guys, new guys into our program that I think that are going to make a difference. Trayvon Hards, I'm excited to see him. He's 6'6", 6'7", just like Connor Kagi, but plays receiver for us. Kyle Teal, who is a freshman out of Florida, he is a solid receiver. Good 6'4" kid. So you got some height out there. If we go all the way across and say we have Trayvon at our extra receiver, our Jet Y, we can go 6'4", 6'7". Dylan Foose he brings us down a little bit. He's sitting right at 6 foot, and then Darian's at 6'5". We got some height too, and guys that can run. So hopefully that plays into a role to be able to play off the run game that we've kind of established over the last couple of years.
Well, and that was one thing that you did have in that 09 season. You had some tall receivers out there.
Yeah, you had Corey Schultz, and then you had Clarence, who could jump out of the gym and was way faster than everybody. You had Taylor Burnett at 6'5". We'll put tight end with the quotes around him. So TB, if you're listening, you know what I'm talking about. You were a receiver and a big body. But yeah, so we had some guys that could make some plays, and then we had some speed in the backfield with Andy Otto and those guys. So I think there's some things that are positive offensively because of what we have now.
Real quick, defensively, you mentioned that you saw some improvement out of them in Missouri Valley. Do you? I guess I'm going to say that there's a lot of positives to look forward to this year on that defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, if you would have told me that we were going to roll into Missouri Valley, play one of the top teams in the heart of America, and put them and have them go 3 and outs to start off with, I would have said, I don't know what you're taking, but I might need some of it a little bit later. But no, they did a tremendous job, and it was without some key guys. And we held Jarrell Taylor out. He'd been kind of nursing an injury, so we held him out. We have a freshman corner that is outstanding, that is coming off of an ankle sprain, so we held him out, Colton Tafoya. So we had a couple guys that we didn't utilize and still did that. But I think our secondary is much better. Jalen King is in his second year. I mean, we like to call him the muscle hamster. He's not very tall, but he's going to stick you. I mean, you're going to know that you got stuck with him, and he can cover really good. He's gotten smart with that. We have in our secondary Taylor Petty, Mike Sanchez, Rodney Latham. You put Jarrell back in there in the safety spot. You got 4, 5, 6 guys right there. A lot more depth than we've had. And again, we got to keep them healthy because with anything you get past your firsts and your seconds, and then you're in trouble. But I'm really happier about that. Up front, Jacob Garcia is Jacob Garcia. He's going to be. We're going to start talking about him, and maybe this year as we did with Zach Lanning and Vinny Wurst. He's going to be that good of a guy. Cole Greenwood up front. He's in his senior season. He's been really solid for us. And we've got, I think what Coach Wright's got 22 defensive linemen that he's working with. So wow. That's the most depth we've ever had at that position. So
I don't know that I've known you to have double digits.
No, I remember my first year here we had 4. That's why we played a 3-man front. Have one backup. So, we're not as big as I'd like us to be, maybe, but I think we'll do some movement and that sort of thing to keep those guys going.
All right, let's take a break right here. When we come back, we're going to talk about this weekend's opponent, the Bethel Threshers. There's a lot of mystery coming into this game with the Threshers, new coach, and practically a whole new team. But we'll talk a little bit about that when we come back. You're listening to the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Show here on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO.
Some combinations were just meant to go together. Chips and salsa, refrigerator and freezer. the internet, and cat videos. At State Farm, there's another combination meant to go together, home and auto. As in combining your home and auto insurance with one agent, which leads to another combination, saving dollars and cents. Your State Farm agent is here to help life go right. Combine home and auto and see how much you can save.
This is State Farm agent Keith King in Ottawa. Call me today at 785-242-9435.
Hey, Ryan, where do you want to go to eat?
Pizza time.
Pizza time? Where's that?
At 208 South Main in historic downtown Ottawa. Or we could call 242-TIME and have it delivered.
242-TIME?
Yep, call my BFF Duke and his friends at Pizza Time.
What are you going to order?
I don't know. It's all so good. Pizza, sandwiches, appetizers, and dessert.
Now you've got me hungry. I wonder what time it is.
Pizza time!
I came here to run cross country, and it ended up being way different than I thought it was going to be. It's unlike anything I've ever been a part of to be on the team. Everyone is so completely different. There are people you never thought you'd be friends with, nothing like your outside friends, but somehow you all click to be the same and have the same interests, but yet completely different. Everyone's always there for you. It's not just about running. Friendships and families like they're your siblings when you're away from home. That's what it means to be a part of the Braves cross country and track team, to be a family.
Be a Brave. Visit ottawa.edu.
We've all got places to go, from work to play. Morning to night, it's go, 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 and then go some more. We go for music, movies, workouts, and checkouts. It's quite the busy little schedule we've got going. And we need something to keep up with it all, to keep up with life on the go. That's where Valero top-tier certified quality fuel comes in. It keeps your engine running cleaner, better, and longer, so you can get right back to going. Find a station near you at valerocleangas.com.
People like me are powerless over alcohol, and if we could outthink it, outrun it, do whatever we needed to do, we could beat it, but we can't by ourselves. Everything I have, everything I've done, I owe to Valley Hope.
An estimated 88,000 people die from alcohol-related causes annually, making it the third leading preventable cause of death in the United States. For more information, visit valleyhope.org. Sponsored by Valley Hope Association and the station.
We're in the Coach's Corner. Not because we're in trouble, but because that's what this has been named this year for the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger show. Although you don't see it yet, but it has officially been named the Coach's Corner.
We need some velvet, keep people out.
The velvet rope?
Yeah, the velvet rope. Yeah, we need the velvet rope.
Well, yeah, I think that would be.
I mean, it just kind of offset the corner.
I could see that. I think that would go very well. Very well. Oh, before I forget, it is customary for me to say hello, Amy.
She is listening.
Thank you for listening tonight. So, just wanted to say hello.
Got the previous text early in the show.
Yes. Are we doing okay?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen any unfavorable texts yet from anybody on the show.
Good.
I'm pretty sure if my mother-in-law might be listening too. We don't have the fax machine anymore, but toaster. Is the toaster still listening?
We do have a toaster.
Okay.
There's a Keurig and some new internet equipment.
Oh, wow.
So
we're moving up.
My mom.
Your mom?
My mom.
Yeah.
Can't forget my mom.
So I always say hi to Bob's mom.
Yes. Because she has to at least make me feel special by listening.
Yes, that's good.
So, thanks, Mom. Thanks to our listeners and everybody on the interwebs and listening to us on 1220 and 103.7 FM. So we got the niceties out of the way. Let's talk about the not-so-niceties with the Bethel Threshers coming up on Saturday. It's a 7 o'clock kick. We'll have pregame at 6 o'clock with the Superstands Ottawa University Braves pregame show. Again, the only hour-long pregame show in the KCAC. Because why? Because I think this is special.
And there's a lot of things to talk about.
Yes. We'll sit down with Coach K. We'll talk to Coach White, Coach Pearson. We'll break down the week's games in the KCAC. So all that during the Superstands Ottawa University Braves pregame show on 1220 and 103.7 FM, KOFO, KOFO.com, OttawaBraves.com, and that's about it.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So Bethel comes into this year. We have a new coach.
Yep, Coach Harrison.
He He's coming up from the high school ranks in Wichita. Very successful in Wichita.
Yep, he's very successful. He Sterling grad, played for the Lamberts there at Sterling, and then has been at Mays for the last several years. Recently as their head football coach, has had some tremendous success there, and so I imagine that he's bringing some new life and new energy into that program, and which is good for the conference, and it'll be interesting to see how that all unfolds in their first game. I mean, they're going to have brand new turf. They're kind of be opening it, dedicating, or whatever that is, that brand new turf. And then then obviously having a new coach, and they're running a new offense, and we think we know what they're running on defense, but there's no film out there to look at and see. So we're kind of going there with a little bit of little blind, and we're going to have to adapt and overcome. And that's what I've told our guys all the last several weeks, and in this week's particularly, is that we got to make adjustments. Got to be able to adapt to what we see and be able to play smart football.
Well, one thing in your favor, the Braves do well at stadium dedications and openings. So
we like people to have new stuff. That's usually been good for us. So hopefully we can continue that trend.
Yeah, there's been a lot of parades rained on by the Braves on things like that, and been happy to be broadcasting a lot of those.
Yeah, that's I think that's a historical thing with the Braves.
Yes.
So.
Well, with this team, I mean, there's as you said, there's not any film to go off of, but then you take a look, and there's just not a lot of returning people. It really is practically a brand new team coming in. I mean, Zach Esau is listed as the starter this year. He didn't play in the game last year that Ottawa won 34-10, but he's the only returning quarterback. You've got Braden Starlin Drive, who's listed as a fullback, who played last year, but didn't really do a whole lot. And other than that, offensively, there's not a lot.
Yeah, and the same thing on defense. They think they have 3 guys that played last year in the game when we were looking at it, and as a starter. And one of them was a safety that they've moved to linebacker, and then there's one defensive lineman and one, we think he's an inside middle linebacker. We're taking a guess because they just listed 3 guys, so we're thinking that he's their middle linebacker. But yeah, there's a lot of new guys. I mean, we've tried to search everybody's huddle account and take a look. We really think that we're going to probably see their freshman quarterback from Tennessee. I think it's Barnes is his name, number 2 listed in their program. But he's running triple option, and that's basically what they're going to run, flex bone. So it's going to be a lot of option. If we're looking at some of the other quarterbacks, it might be some power game, it might be some traps and that sort of thing, but that's what we're looking at. I don't think that Coach Harrison's going to change his offensive philosophy. He's had a lot of success with it, so I think that's the one area that we feel pretty confident that we can get an idea what they're doing.
What will this Braves defense need to do against the triple option or the flex bone? Because obviously, you got to make sure you guess who's got the ball.
You have to be extremely disciplined, and that's what it's got to be. And I think we're a little different than back in the days when we were 34 front playing Sterling, where we really wanted the guys to pin their ear back and get after the quarterback. And so when we played the triple option, we weren't staying at home. We were making these huge seams. And now with the advent of how offenses are running a lot of zone read, and you have to be able to squeeze down and read reads and run fits and keys with that. I think we're in a little better situation than we were about 15 years ago when we started going against triple option. But we have to be disciplined, and you got to tackle everything really. If they're running a lot of triple option out of the flex bone, you got to tackle everything. You got to tackle the dive, you got to tackle the quarterback, you got to tackle the pitch man. It's got to be a lot of tackling, that is the one thing that you go into the first game that, you know, very few teams do a lot of, is live tackling to the ground. I mean, we don't do it because we do some, but we don't do a lot of it because we just don't want to get, you know, we don't have the injuries that you would get from that going into the first game. We want to be healthy, but
and then
that's the issue.
And then on the defensive side for Bethel, one of the things is size. There's not a lot of it. So this Braves offense has got to find a way to take advantage.
You know, we're going to have to, you know, establish a running game. That's what we've done extremely well over the last couple of years. I mean, we've been a pretty good running team. Hopefully we're much better in the passing game. I think we'll be a lot more balanced with our stuff, but we still got to be able to run the football, got to be able to move guys off the line of scrimmage. They kind of, it's interesting as you look at their two deep, and if, I mean, that's the guys you're going to end up playing. We'll see if that's who it really is, but you know, they go anywhere from, you know, 205 to 250 in their starting group, but then they have two defensive tackles that are listed at 360. So they go from 250 and they add 110 pounds onto two guys, and that's you get big boys in there. Those are a load to move.
But the question is it an athletic 360?
Yeah, you never know. I mean, you don't know until you get there. I mean, there's some guys that don't look it that play really well, and there's some guys that, you know, I've always said that they look like Tarzan and don't play like him at all. You know, so there's. You just don't know until we get in there. That's one of the things I told our guys is, I go, this is not going to be, you know, a 12-round feel it out for 11 rounds and then make your move. We need to figure out what these guys are doing in the first round of the fight, and then get our stuff going to where we can potentially assert our will against them. So there's going to be a lot of soaking up stuff the first couple series, and then hopefully we've got it going on by then.
Let's take our final break of the night. When we come back, we're going to start off the season with 4 questions for Coach K. You know, we were kind of mixing it up over the last couple of years. We'll start easy, and then we're going to work our way into some more exciting
some
stuff.
Softballs at me.
We're going to, well, we'll see. I don't know. This could be interesting when we come back, so you definitely don't want to miss the next segment with 4 questions. Want to let you know that KOFO is your source for high school and college football this fall, and you can hear the Ottawa Cyclones host the Baldwin Bulldogs this Friday night on 103.7 FM, 12:20 a.m. and on KOFO.com. The Super Stands pregame show, Super Stands cleaning service pregame show with Gary Bateman will start at 6:40. So you'll definitely want to tune in for that on Friday night. But we'll take our last break here. It is the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger show here on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO.
Some combinations were just meant to go together. Chips and salsa, refrigerator and freezer, the internet and cat videos. At State Farm, there's another combination meant to go together, home and auto. As in combining your home and auto insurance with one agent, which leads to another combination, saving dollars and cents. Your State Farm agent is here to help life go right. Combine home and auto and see how much you can save.
This is State Farm agent Keith King in Ottawa. Call me today at 785-242-9435.
Hey, Ryan, where do you want to go to eat?
Pizza Time.
Pizza Time? Where's that?
At 208 South Main in historic downtown Ottawa. Or we could call 242-TIME and have it delivered.
242-TIME?
Yep, call my BFF Duke and his friends at Pizza Time.
What are you going to order?
I don't know. It's all so good. Pizza, sandwiches, appetizers, and dessert.
Now you've got me hungry. I wonder what time it is.
Pizza time!
I came here to run cross country, and it ended up being way different than I thought it was going to be. It's unlike anything I've ever been a part of to be on the team. Everyone is so completely different. There are people you never thought you'd be friends with, nothing like your outside friends, but somehow you all click to be the same and have the same interests, but yet completely different. Everyone's always there for you. It's not just about running. Friendships and families like they're your siblings when you're away from home. That's what it means to be a part of the Braves cross country and track team. to be a family.
Be a brave. Visit ottawa.edu.
Even though school has already started, getting your child's school physical is still possible at Ottawa Care Clinic. Now open 7 days a week inside Cosentino's Prize Chopper, 120 East 19th. No appointment is necessary, and a staff of experienced and caring registered nurse practitioners is waiting to help you. Remember, bring your physical form, proof of insurance, or $50. Most insurances are accepted. Ottawa Care Clinic open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 11 till 7, Saturdays 9 till 4, Sundays 9 till 3.
This is Secretary Tim Keck at the Kansas Department for Aging and Disability Services. Elder abuse is a growing problem in our state and across the country. Elder abuse can occur no matter where these victims live, who they live with, and regardless of their finances or their health. But help is available. Concerned people can spot the warning signs, such as unexplained injuries, and make a call for help. Don't let our elders suffer silently. Be their voice. For more information, visit the KDAD's website.
Sponsored by the Kansas Department of Aging and Disability Services and this station.
All right, social media time is over.
That's right. We're frantically tweeting out.
Yes, tweeting, Instagramming. Nobody MySpaces anymore.
No, I don't think so.
So that's good to know. But we're doing our job promoting. Because we got to promote. Got to promote. And speaking of promoting, real quick, we mentioned before the break about Ottawa High on Friday night. The KOFO Game of the Week returns, exclusively heard on KOFO.com. It'll be Central Heights hosting the Linden Tigers on Friday night. Superstand's cleaning service pregame show starts online at 6:40 with Luke Queen. And I want to let you know we're doing something new this year for high school football. We're actually going to have a pregame show starting at 6:06 after the local news. I will be hosting it. We're going to get you caught up with all the area games coming up. We'll let you know what's going on with that. We'll also get you some early information from both Gary Bateman, who will be at Steve Grogan Stadium, and then also with Luke Queen, who will be at Central Heights. And then at 6:40, well, before then, we'll also have some interviews with area coaches before that about their games, and we'll hope to talk with Wellsville and West Franklin to catch up on what their Friday nights are going to look like. And then at 6:40, we'll send you out to your prospective games. If you're on 1220 and 103.7 FM, you'll hear the Ottawa High game with Gary Bateman. If you're on KOFO.com, you can click on the Game of the Week link. I don't mean week link, but it's KOFO Game of the Week link.
Gotcha.
With Central Heights.
I was with you.
Central Heights and Linden, and Luke Queen will have that. So something new we're going to try this year, and we hope you guys will enjoy it. And then during the half, we'll get you caught up as we'll come back live to the studio. We'll get you a quick news update and weather, and then also get you caught up on scores, and then we'll send you back out to your games as they go on. So something new, and we're excited to do that this year, and I will be hosting it. So I'm very excited for that.
It sounds like a cool deal to be able to drop in at the local venues and get a perspective from the guys calling it there, and throw that in with the coaches' interviews.
Yeah, we're trying some new things this year.
It.
Are you ready for 4 questions?
I am as ready as I will ever be.
Okay, so you talked a little bit about the changes with the after a touchdown, the clock starts rolling. There's all these different kickoff rules that the pros are doing and all that.
Catching it inside the 25.
Yeah. So will there come a time where kickoffs and punting will be removed from the sport of football in the future?
I would, if that's one of the questions, I would say kickoffs might disappear.
But
I think you'll still punt.
But kickoffs, what will they do? What would you think they would do, or what would you like to see them do?
I think you'll automatically start the ball at the 25-yard line.
See, you take away an exciting play.
You do. But they're supposedly taking it away because of the injuries that could occur, and concussions and whatever. But, I'm thinking back to most of the concussions that our guys have had. They haven't been on those. It's not on kickoff. It's not on kickoff return. It's not on really any special teams. It's simple things like falling down and hitting your head or butting into somebody, or I mean, we had some crazy ones that weren't ginormous hits. So I think it'll be interesting also see what the pros are doing, because it's almost flag football out there right now in the NFL.
Yeah, this preseason has been a joke to watch with some of that stuff.
You can't even tackle anybody, it seems like, without getting suspended. I mean, like an actual, the way they teach it, form tackle that's not overly violent or anything like that. So I think they'll take away the kickoff. I think you'll still keep punts and everything like that, but I don't see that, it could be a near future thing.
All right, so that's the first one right there. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward.
Yeah, straightforward.
Very softball.
In depth and somewhat political, maybe.
Well, we like to be heavy hitters on this program.
That's right.
And including this question.
Gotcha.
Journey or Def Leppard?
Ooh, wow, tough one. I would have to go. I'd have to go with Def Leppard. I do like Journey though. Big fan. But I think Def Leppard was just a little bit more popular, more songs on the radio when I was a wee lad. So I'm going to go with Def Leppard, a little Pour Some Sugar on Me.
See, that's where
Big
they
fan.
lost me.
Really?
That right? Well, no, I take that back. There was some good stuff on that album. It's pretty much everything after that album that they kind of lost me. And then anything post like '83 for Journey was.
Yeah.
But I could see where you're going for here. I mean,
it's just I was a little young for the Journey, and it was right during my formative teenage-ish years that Def Leppard was at its height.
Do you know Journey was when they were formed, had a fan create the name contest, and Journey came about. But I'll tell you off the air one of the suggested names.
Okay.
Probably not airworthy.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good to know. Good to know.
So good to know. What's your worst road trip? What's the one road trip you just absolutely hate to make?
In our conference?
Yeah. Well, let's do that. Conference.
Okay, Sterling. Number one. It's so long.
And there's nothing.
There's very little out there. Yes, that's true. Some people think of it as God's country. I think of it as Western Kansas. But yeah, it's just so long. It's a long time to be in a bus for a day trip, because you're 3+ hours there, 3+ hours back. You spend 6 hours in a bus
with sweaty football players.
Well, hopefully they shower after the game, but we always play at 1:30, so you're up at the crack of dawn.
Yeah.
And even when you get back, it's still late.
And dark.
Yeah, and particularly if you're playing in October and November, it is dark. Yeah. Dark when you leave, dark when you come back.
It's kind of like it is for me for work now. All right. Final question.
So far, these have been pretty good. I like these.
This one may...
Going to stretch me?
This one may stretch you.
Yeah, well, it's all right. It's hard to be challenged.
This could be the most controversial question I've ever asked.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's a lot of years of questions.
Which Anderson brother was better, Donald or Clarence?
Oh, wow. That's a tough one. Better at what?
Just better overall as a football player.
Well, sorry, Donald. I got to go with the big brother, Clarence. He's not. Neither one of them are listening, so we're all right. Hopefully both are taking role at an informational meeting for the student athletes tonight. But I think I would put definitely Clarence in that. He wins the battle because his was over. I think he was more significant, more years.
Donald,
but it's nice to be able to have two, players of the year.
True.
Out of the same family.
Very true. Donald and I had a little dust up over Twitter about a week or so ago. He agrees with my wife, unfortunately, that CFL is not real football. I beg to differ. My last question was what's wrong with 3 downs? I never got a response.
Really?
Yeah. So, well, what can you do? Well, we have 2 minutes left in this program, and as customary, what I always like to do is turn these 2 minutes over to head coach Kent Kessinger for his final words.
Final words. Well, we're excited about starting off a new season. You know, the last couple of years we've been a little down on the win column. I think that we did a good job of putting ourselves in a situation with recruiting that, you know, we should be much better. I feel that we are ahead of the game, both offensively and defensively, where we were last year, and hopefully that produces some wins, some more extra wins on top. We're going to have a tough schedule all the way around. You know, start off with Bethel. They're a fan. You know, they've got this new coach, and they're going to have these new facilities. There's a lot of new things, and they played us tough over the last couple of years. So those guys that have been there, I don't think are, you know, as scared of the Ottawa Braves as they've been. But hopefully we can right that ship and go down to North Newton, come back with a victory, and start off a really exciting 2018.
And it should be a fun season this year. A lot of excitement with this team, and definitely when the team's at home at Braves Field, you need to come out and check it out.
Definitely.
But definitely listen to it on the air Saturday again, starting with pregame at 6 o'clock. We'll have the Super Stands Cleaning Service Ottawa University Braves pregame show, and then we will follow it with kickoff at 7, and we'll bring you all the exciting action of Ottawa University Braves football for the 2018 season.
Yep, come out and see us if you're in North Newton, and good luck to the Cyclones on Friday.
Exactly. Again, we'll have that game for you at 7 o'clock Friday night. We'll also have the KOFO game of the week at 7 o'clock on Friday night. So a lot to look forward to as football season gets underway here on the mothership and also online as 12 points.
ESPN3. You can watch us on ESPN3.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
That's right.
So if you've got ESPN3, break out the Roku or the computer and listen to it or watch it.
Watch it, yeah. We'll be streaming live on it.
But if you have a Roku, they do have a KCAC channel. You can watch it there, too. So, but that's going to do it for this week. Thanks for listening to the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Show.
Information and entertainment in East Central Kansas. KOFO K279CS Ottawa, where keeping you informed comes first.
Boyd has a very good move to first base, but that wasn't it. And the Royals know that, and yet he is perhaps trying to con Merrifield into thinking that was his best move. Now the pitch to Alex, and a fastball is taken for a strike, and Alex was out of the batter's box and was on his way up the first base line. 3-2. Now Witt walks off his lead, a little bigger lead now. And the pitch to Alex is outside, ball 4. And the Royals have 2 on with nobody out. Let's pause for station identification on the Kansas City Royals Radio Network.
Your source for information and entertainment and Royals baseball in East Central Kansas. KOFO K279 CS Ottawa.
Ryan Lefevre with Denny Matthews, Steve Stewart, and Keith Kowalski here at Kauffman Stadium with Rick Smith at the controls in Topeka. It's the Royals 1 and the Tigers 1. We're in the bottom of the third. Adalberto Mondesi led off the inning with a home run to left center field. And now Merrifield has singled. Gordon has walked. And that brings up Salvador Perez with 2 on and nobody out. And Salvi already has a single against Boyd tonight. The left-hander's pitch is a slider way inside. Almost hit him on the knee. It is a steamy night. And just writing on my scorecard after each play is like writing on a wet paper towel. We had a heavy thunderstorm which just poured for almost an hour here. Can't tell now other than all of the humidity. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that same slider is cut on and missed. So one was way inside. Salvi took it. The other one was way inside, and he swung right over it.
It's supposed to be a very nice day tomorrow, and I would advise you to perhaps take your scorecard and hang it on a clothesline out in your backyard. Let it dry out.
Salvi hits a fly ball deep into the right field corner. Castellanos is at the track, and it's over his glove and up against the fence, and no runs will score. Merrifield was back at second thinking about tagging, and when it went over Castellanos' head, Alex Gordon was right on his back and almost passed him. So Alex had to hit the brakes, and then Witt was just able to go to third. So that is a single off the bat of Salvador Perez. And now the Tigers are thinking maybe Alex did pass Merrifield. And Ron Gardenhire's out to have a chat with home plate umpire and crew chief Bill Miller. Seems like all year Whit Merrifield has been caught in between, do I go back and tag, or do I assume that that's going to go over the outfielder's head and make sure that I score? And that time he thought Castellanos was going to run it down, and he missed it. And Witt was at the bag ready to tag. And then by the time he realized it had dropped, he was running in the wrong direction. He was running back towards second base, and Alex Gordon was steaming around second, but Alex was able to stop in time.
I don't think Merrifield had a good look because Castellanos' back was exactly in line with Merrifield's line, so he didn't see the ball get away from him and roll down the front of his uniform. That's a tough play for a base runner.
Always depends on where you're standing and what you can see. Swing and a miss by Bonifacio, and a big opportunity for him here. Royals 1, Tigers 1, bottom of the third. The bases are loaded with nobody out. Bonifacio struck out against Boyd in the first inning. Boyd got him with a slider. So Merrifield is at third, Gordon is at second, Perez is at first. And the 0-1. Slider, check swing, and no swing. They appeal down to first base umpire Angel Hernandez. Boyd pitches out of the stretch with the bases loaded. Here's the 1-1. Fastball is swung on and fouled away off to the right field side and back into the crowd. Denny was telling you about Bonifacio's deep slump. And he has pulled out of that over the past week with 8 hits in his last 25 at-bats. Just 2 RBIs. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball hangs a little bit high. 71 miles an hour, so he really pulled back on that breaking ball. And it was so high that Bonifacio just gave up on it. It looked like a pitch that got away from Boyd, but it spun, and McCann almost pulled it back into the strike zone. Now a 2-2. Breaking ball is lined toward right center field. Over from right is Castellanos. He makes the play. Witt tags. He comes down from third, and the throw is cut off. And Bonifacio picks up an RBI and gives the Royals a 2-1 lead. Really a good job of hitting there by Bonifacio. The pitch was not a strike. It was a backdoor breaking ball that stayed outside, but too close to take with 2 strikes. And Bonifacio, you could tell there he was just thinking, put the ball in play and drive in a run. It was not a full swing. It was maybe a half swing. And he got it deep enough for the RBI. So Gordon is at second now. Perez is at first, 1 out. And Rosel Herrera, who grounded out to third in the second inning. Breaking ball is low, ball 1. The Tigers got 1 in the top of the third, and now the Royals have answered with 2 in the bottom of the third. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball is a strike. At the knees, it was down at the bottom edge of the strike zone. Mondesi homered, Merrifield singled, Gordon walked, Perez singled, and now Bonifacio has the sac fly to put the Royals in front. Here's the 1-1 to Rosell. Check swing on a fastball away, and no swing again on appeal to Angel Hernandez. 2 balls and 1 strike. Rosie has struggled lately. He is just 3 for his last 29 without an RBI, so that's barely 100. Two balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and he shortens the bunt and pushes it foul over the first base dugout. Rosie, he is batting right-handed, and I think, and it's the right call, looking how the Tigers are set up on defense. He tried to push it to the right side, get it by the mound, and force the second baseman Goodrum to field it, and Goodrum's playing up the middle. So his angle was to bunt it to the right side, but the pitch was way in on him. And so all he could really do was foul it over to the first base dugout. If he could do it all over again, he wouldn't have even tried to bunt that pitch. It was inside and off the plate. 2-2. And Boyd's pitch swung on, fouled away. That was a fastball at 90. Alex Gordon walks off his lead at second base. Goodrum, the second baseman, is close, trying to keep Alex close. And the 2-2. Swung on, line foul into the first row, past the third base dugout suite. Boyd is not going to light up a radar gun. I don't know if I've seen a pitch over 91 tonight, but he is a master at changing speeds. He has had hitters very late on swings in this inning, and in that case, he had Herrera way out in front. Here's the 2-2. Way outside with a changeup, and McCann had to jump out of his crouch to save it. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And now the attention is on Royals third base coach Mike Jershely to see if Gordon at second and Perez at first will be running. Boyd is set. He looks down at second. Runners are not going, and Herrera again out in front pulls it foul. That was a changeup. So Herrera has to find the happy medium here. He has either been very late or way out in front. So we'll do it again. Runners not going, and a fastball is down and in for ball 4, and the Royals have loaded the bases again. And now here comes pitching coach Rick Anderson. Well, Denny was telling you that the weather is supposed to improve tomorrow. Let's get you a weather update brought to you by Gary Lezak and 41 Action Weather, Kansas City's weather leader. And Gary is calling for a high of 78 tomorrow, so much cooler and less humid. And the low temperature will be 61 degrees. Royals have an off day on Thursday. Gary's saying it'll be 83 with a few showers and thunderstorms. And Denny, you can open up some windows on Thursday. The low will be 58 degrees. And then it's going to warm up again over the weekend. 86 Friday, 88 Saturday, and 85 on Sunday. But compared to what we have right now, not bad. Or at least what we had the past few days.
You said open up some of the windows? How about all of the windows? And by the way, the wind has picked up quite a bit since first pitch. It was barely moving the flags when the game started, but now it's blowing out of the south and probably about 15 miles an hour, so the wind has picked up.
Hunter Dozier with the bases loaded. He swings and lines it to right field. Castellanos is back. That is over his head and up against the fence. Gordon scores. Perez to the plate. He will score. Dozier has a 2-run double, and the Royals have 4 in the 3rd inning. It is 4-1 KC.
Number 2, Alcides Escobar.
The Royals have had a great approach against Matthew Boyd in this inning. First of all, Mondesi homered, and he was down 0-2, so you're just kind of fighting for your life there, but he got a fastball up on 0-2, and he pulled it. But everyone else, with Boyd, who can change speeds, they have all gone to the opposite field. And now the Tigers will bring the infield in with runners at 2nd and 3rd for Alcides Escobar. And Esky takes up and away with a changeup. A pitcher like Matthew Boyd, and remember the foul balls that Herrera hit before taking a walk, was way out in front and was pulling the ball. I don't think he was trying to, but he's just so far out in front. But the key is to try and go to the opposite field. Here's the 1-0. And Escobar hits a line drive to center right at Jones. He makes the play. Both runners tag, and the throw to the plate is offline. Escobar has a sacrifice fly, and now the Royals lead 5-1 in the 3rd inning.
Phillips.
So again, another hitter not trying to pull the ball, and Esky didn't have the greatest balance on that pitch, but he kept his hands back and lined it to center field for a sacrifice fly. So 2 down with Dozier at 3rd and Brett Phillips, who is the 9th Royal to come up in the inning. Here's Boyd's pitch, and that's swung on and grounded back through the middle, but the shortstop Iglesias is there waiting for it and throws him out. So that ball was hard hit. The Royals bat 9 and they score 5, and at the end of 3 the Royals lead 5-1.
Koch Industries is proud to sponsor this broadcast of Royals baseball. Koch employs more than 70,000 U.S. workers who help create everyday products so you can cover all your bases. The team at Koch also supports a level playing field where everyone has an equal chance to improve their own lives. See how Koch is driving innovation and opening avenues to opportunity at kochchallenge.com.
Hi, welcome to this Subway ad for footlongs starting at $4.99. How do you want it?
Yeah, I'll take a blast of death metal, please.
You got it.
Now Subway, full of black forest and spicy Italian, cold cut combo, pickle marinara, or veggie delight, starting at $4.99 each. Ooh, I've got jalapenos in my eyes. Subway, make it what you want.
Limited time at participating shops. Prices varying or higher in Alaska and Hawaii. Extras additional plus tax. No additional discounts. Coupons applied.
Throughout the 2018 season, we'll hear from a variety of current Royals players, alumni, broadcasters, and front office staff as they share their favorite moments throughout Royals history. Pepsi is proud to celebrate 50 seasons of Royals baseball by highlighting this memory from George Brett. With the Royals down 2-0 to Toronto in the 1985 ALCS, George came up big.
I remember that game. We lost the first 2 games, and I played terrible. I made an error in both games up in Toronto. On the same exact play, a high chopper. One I stayed back on, and the next one I came in on and got the in-between hop. But coming back to Kansas City, obviously it was a must-win game, and I probably had the best game of my life that day. I went 4 for 4 with 2 home runs, a double, and a single, and made the greatest play of my life, too, and we were able to squeak out a victory.
Thank you to Pepsi, a proud 50th season partner, for helping us share this memory from George Brett.
Well, the Tigers got 1 in the 3rd. The Royals got 5 in the 3rd. So Jacob Junis, who had allowed the first run of the game, goes back to the mound with a 4-run lead and pitches to Nicholas Castellanos, and he throws a fastball for a strike. Castellanos had an eventful bottom of the 3rd inning, having a couple of line drives sail over his head in right field. As a hitter tonight, he is flied to left. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's taken high. Another fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Tigers got their run in the top of the third on Jamer Candelario's sacrifice fly. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, lifted to right field. Herrera backs up. He is at the warning track. He is in front of the fence, and he's got it. One down in the top of the fourth.
The designated hitter, number 41, Victor Martinez.
We'll get you an injury update brought to you by the University of Kansas Health System, official healthcare provider of the Royals and the athlete in you. Learn more at kansashealthsystem.com/RaisedRoyal. Here's Victor Martinez standing in with 1 out, nobody on. Switch hitter, batting left-handed, and takes a fastball strike. Victor grounded out to Merrifield at second base in the second inning, with Witt fielding that ground ball in shallow right, where he is standing again. Here's the 0-1. And a changeup is in there, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Ian Kennedy, who's been on the disabled list with an oblique strain, is on his way to Omaha, and he will pitch a injury rehab game tomorrow for the Storm Chasers. Inside, and that hit Victor Martinez with an 0-2 pitch. So he'll jog down to first with 1 away.
The first baseman for 37, Jim Adduci.
Ian made 18 starts for the Royals, and then was hit with the dreaded oblique. So he was feeling good after throwing here at Kauffman Stadium, and was going to head up on I-29 and continue his rehab at AAA, and hoping to get back to the Royals soon. One on, 1 out, and now Jim Adduci. He singled to left field in the second inning. Royals 5, Tigers 1, top of the fourth inning. Adduci is a left-hand batter, and here's the pitch. And a changeup. Got the outside edge. No balls, 1 strike. Ian, by the way, has gone on the disabled list twice with that left oblique strain. Ground ball right side. Dozier fields. He'll throw to second one, and Mondesi does not throw to first. Junis was over there to cover, but Adduci was already there. And the Royals get the lead runner and the second out.
Nico Goodrum.
And now Goodrum, who did ground into a double play in the second inning, 3-6. With a ground ball to Dozier, who stepped on the bag and threw down to second base for the tag play. Goodrum is a switch hitter, so he's in there left-handed against Junis. And the pitch. Fastball is fouled back to the screen. The Royals have Mondesi, Merrifield, and Dozier on the right side. Escobar is all by himself on the left side of the infield. Now Goodrum takes up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Escobar is the third baseman tonight, and he's already made a nice play for Junis. That was for the last out of the third on a hard hit ground ball from Iglesias. Here's the 1-1 to Goodrum. And a changeup again hits the outside edge. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Junis doesn't throw a lot of changeups. He is primarily fastball slider. But the consensus is for him to go to the next level, he will need a reliable third pitch. He can throw a change. He just doesn't throw it a lot. He's throwing some good ones here to Goodrum. And now a backdoor slider got him looking. So he had him set up for the change. And that pitch started outside. Goodrum gave up on it and then hit the outside edge for a called third strike, and that's Junis' second strikeout. So he has a scoreless inning after the Royals give him 5. And at the end of 3.5, the Royals lead Detroit 5-1.
Deep right field, gone!
The Royals Radio Network is presented by Capital Federal. True Blue for over 120 years. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Subway proud sponsor of the Kansas City Royals.
Save time every time when you use online check-in for a great haircut at Great Clips. Download our free app or check in online at greatclips.com. What you do with the time you save is totally up to you. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
The Tigers head into the K for a middle-of-the-week 2-game series, starting with T-Shirt Tuesday at 7:15. The first 10,000 fans get a Denny Matthews 50th season tee, presented by State Farm. Get here early on Wednesday for the bluesy pop sounds of singer-songwriter Jessica Page for a special early edition of Student Night and Local Music Showcase, presented by Inc. Game time 1:15. Tickets at Royals.com and Price Chopper.
All right, welcome to F-150 Radio. Today, the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar. Why? Eugene, go.
I think because Ford engineers always add new stuff, so the competition can't catch up.
Whoa, Eugene sounds like an expert.
Well, I got a store that sells exclusively bar-raising merchandise, like a calendar with an extra month.
An extra month?
Extrebuary. It has 32 days.
So you can appreciate the new 2018 F-150 raising the bar with available Bliss with trailer coverage. It monitors your trucks and your trailer's blind spots.
How about our new bar-raising poker chips? You can play with them or eat them. So,
The new 2018 F-150 raises the bar with auto start-stop, standard on all engines, and an available 10-speed transmission.
We have sandals with available built-in socks.
And we are out of time.
Huge in Oregon.
This is the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar.
Driver assist features like Bliss are supplemental and do not replace the driver's attention, judgment, and the need to control the vehicle.
Royals 5, Tigers 1, bottom of the 4th inning. Adalberto Mondesi leads off against Matthew Boyd, who just threw it to the screen. If you watch the games on TV and our strike zone grid on Fox Sports Kansas City, we'll register the pitch location and the speed. That pitch did not register. It was so far outside. And now Mondesi swings and misses at a changeup, and he's down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And we're just talking about it last inning on a steamy night like tonight. At times, the pitchers are going to have a tough time getting a good grip. Another changeup is down and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And if you look up at the lights, some of the lights, you can just see the steam in the air. Here's the 2-2. Fastball is inside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Mondesi led off last inning, and he was down 0-2, and he homered. And that was the first of 5 runs for the Royals. Here's the windup in the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded to short, right to Iglesias. He fields, throws in time. And there's 1 down in the bottom of the 4th.
The second baseman, number 15, Whit Merrifield.
You can help us celebrate Hispanic heritage with Viva Los Reales Night coming up on Saturday. The first 10,000 fans through the gates receive a Los Reales cap courtesy of Minute Mart. That'll be the Royals and the Orioles. And don't miss the chance to vote for your favorite dip in the Salsa Showdown. Gates open at 4:30 on Saturday. Strike to Whit Merrifield. No balls and 1 strike. Five-1 Royals, 4th inning. Whit swings. It's a ground ball, base hit into center field. That's his second hit. He singled and scored in the 5-run 3rd, and now Whit's 2 out of 3.
Left fielder number 4, Alex Gordon.
Mondesi hit a solo home run. Bonifacio had a sac fly. Dozier had a 2-run double, and Escobar had a sac fly in the Royals' 5-run 3rd. And on the other side, Jacob Junis has allowed just 1 run, 3 hits in his first 4 innings. Here's the pitch to Alex, and it's inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Alex flied to center in the first, and then he walked and scored in the 5-run third inning. The 1-0. Swung on, grounded foul behind the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Couldn't blame Matthew Boyd if he was thinking to himself, here we go again at Kauffman Stadium. Even before he took the mound tonight, his career ERA here was 7.99. And now he's given up 5 runs in 3 1/3. Throw to first, and Merrifield's back. Among pitchers who have made 7 or more starts here all time,